So question 8, explain with the aid of a circuit diagram, such as we need a circuit diagram, mustn't forget that, the method a student could use to investigate how the resistance of a lamp changes with the potential difference across the lamp. So this is kind of like a standard GCSE question asking you to investigate a filament or a light bulb. We told it just a single lamp. So let's think of the circuit diagram. The first thing we're going to need is a power pack. So let's draw a battery in there. Right. What else are we going to need? We're going to need a lamp in here. We're going to need, if you remember doing this experiment in class, we had an ammeter, a voltmeter, and a variable resistor as well. So let's draw them in. So let's go an ammeter here to measure the current. We're going to put our bulb in here. We're going to need a variable resistor. So the resistor is a rectangle. We're going to put an arrow through it to show that we can change it. And let's complete the circuit like that. So the current's going to go through the ammeter, through the bulb, through the variable resistor. But you say, Mr. Little, you've forgotten the voltmeter to measure this. Well, the voltmeter always goes across a component like this. Okay, you measure the current in the circuit, but you measure the voltage across a component. So let's have a little look. What are we asked to do? How does the resistance change with the potential difference? And we asked to explain it. So let's go through what we're looking at here. So firstly, let's take the obvious. Okay, set up practical as shown above. So we're going to need we could use bullet points or numbers here. I always like to lay it out quite as logically as we can do. So set up practical shown above. We're going to measure the current with the ammeter. And it uses the term potential difference, so let's use that. We often can get sloppy and use the term voltage, but the potential difference is the better phrase. Difference with the voltmeter. Now that's a little phrase that often students miss out. State the obvious. What are you doing? You're measuring the current with the ammeter, potential difference with the voltmeter. But hang on a sec, we're asked to investigate how the resistance of a lamp changes with the potential difference. So we can then calculate the resistance using, now let's go back. Do you remember we wrote the equation down here? We're going to use this one here, voltage, current and resistance. So let's write that down up here, V equals I times R. So the resistance is going to be V over I. Calculate the resistance by using R equals V over I. So now we've got a term for the resistance as we look at changing the potential difference. But we need to change that potential, because at the moment we've just got one number. So let's change that potential difference across it. How are we going to do that? We're going to use the variable resistor. So we're going to say change the potential difference. Remember, it's the potential difference across the bulb by using the variable resistor. So by changing this resistance, say we increase this resistance here, we're going to increase the resistance of the whole circuit. So the resistance in the whole circuit increases, the amount of current passing through the circuit is going to drop as the resistance is higher. So change potential difference across the bulb by using the variable resistor, and repeat previous step using R equals V over I to calculate the new resistance. And then we could go on to say, continue this process. Let's go for 5 more times. Another way to do it, instead of calculating resistance each time, you could have said something on the lines of, we're asked to do resistance against the bulb, so we could have gone something like this. We could have plotted a graph of potential difference against the voltage like that. And whatever our results would be here will clearly show us the pattern about what's going on. So you could have explained it in terms of that way as well.